Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's Kathy Klotz-Guest here. Happy Wednesday morning. It's Wednesday morning my time. I'm in Silicon Valley on this kind of overcast day. I thought we'd have some natural lighting to do this. And, I can't get a whole lot of lighting. It's really overcast and gray, but it tends to burn off a little bit by about noon. And towards summer, we do get this kind of fog kind of stuff and overcast days kind of moving in. But happy Wednesday morning. And I'm doing a special broadcast because as I have conversations with people, and I think, that would be of use to people, I want to bring it to you, not just keep it to the conversations that I'm having. So I want to talk about something really important, and that is called embracing the creative suck. Embrace the creative suck. Embrace it. Embrace the creative suck. And I'm going to sing it because it's so important. It's super important. Hey, Laura, embrace the creative suck. Super, super important. So many of you who know me know that I'm a comic and an improviser, and that I teach improv and I teach it to businesses and all these other things. Hey, Manuel. Hola, ¿cómo estás? And a lot of people also know that I paint. I've done 2 one-woman shows, so I think we're all creative. I also have an MBA. I'm a weirdo. We're all the best weirdos in the world, all of us. But I spend a lot of time creating, and I think we all do. But I noticed that what gets in a lot of our ways is our own fear of failure and of the creative process. And because the creative process goes a little something like this. I have an idea. I start working on it. Then I start working on it, then it gets worse before it gets better. It gets messy, it gets imperfect, it gets really squishy and crappy and not great. And then when we're done, towards the end of the creative process, it gets better. So the creative process is messy. It's really, really super messy. And I think what happens to a lot of people is they give up in the middle of that creative process because it's messy. And we don't like imperfect, we don't like messy, especially in the world of business. Again, I ran marketing departments for many, many years, and I know that things can get messy. And sometimes you don't know. You don't know how things are going to work out, and you have to take experiments. So I really believe in this concept called embracing the creative suck. Embrace the creative suck, because it is a natural part of the creative trough to have feelings of uncertainty, to have feelings where we don't know if this is going to work out, whether an experiment is going to fail, and there's fear and there's uncertainty and doubt. The FUD factor kind of kicks in, and our own internal censor kicks in, and the bully in our head kicks in and tells us, oh, this is horrible, this is horrible. So a lot of people just give up and abandon it. So the most important thing you can do is know that the creative suck is there to motivate you. It's motivating fuel, and it's normal. We all go through it. And if we gave up, there wouldn't be all these great things in the world. So I want you to remember that it's totally normal to have these kind of creative doubts. We all go through it. When I was doing my first one-woman show, and I've done 2 now in San Francisco, the first one I did, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I've been doing comedy and improv for many, many years. So this was a natural extension of doing a one-woman show. But it was very kind of like, oh my gosh. So anytime you do that, you're going to have these feelings. It's okay. Normal, normal, normal. Embrace it. Embrace the uncertainty, because the uncertainty is where you work out a lot of the things that need to be worked out. So steer into it. When you have to, when you kind of go into a turn on the road, you got to steer into the creative suck. You got to steer into the turn. I want you to steer into the creative suck and embrace it, because it's all normal. It's all part of the uncertainty that as human beings, when we're creating, we feel. So congratulations, I'm ratifying you. I'm giving you permission to feel this way. Give yourself a big old permission slip to just embrace the suck and know that it's part of it, and you'll come out of it, and it's all good. So don't worry about that. Ask yourself, can I be playful about it? So here's a couple ways to deal with it. Be playful. Can you separate out the outcome from the process? One of the things I learned years ago through improv and comedy and failing and trying things, then rewriting jokes, then they worked, was if at first it doesn't work, don't give up. Figure out how to get it better. And if it still doesn't work a 3rd time, then maybe it's the material. But don't give up on the delivery. Keep tweaking, keep tweaking. And that's the motivating fuel. So can you be playful about it? 2, can you figure out how to enjoy the process and learn and grow from the process and forget about the outcome for now? Sounds totally radical. I know everyone's like, oh my gosh, I get it. In business, we're so hung up on outcomes because we have to be, because outcomes determine success. But here's the thing. What if we learned how to appreciate the process, the creative process, and be comfortable with discomfort? You got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Can you learn to appreciate the process? Because once you're not afraid of the process anymore, it's easier. It's so much easier. So ask yourself, can I appreciate the process, go through the process, learn from the process, and do the process better next time? Forget about the outcome and separate outcome from process. I know, hard to do sometimes, but if you can make that distinction, it helps. Can you be playful? Can you just say, all right, if something comes of this, this is great. If something doesn't come from it, that's okay too. And what you'll find, I think, is that your appreciation of the process goes up. You'll enjoy the process. You won't hate it so much. And what you'll find is that you'll learn fine-tuning tweaks for the process. Another thing that I do is, and a lot of you probably know this, is that, so I'll test jokes. Oh no, you know what, Mitch, that's my fault. I think I screwed up because you know what? I don't think I made it public when I started. But that's because through BeLive, I don't know a setting to make it public. I think I have to change that setting. And if you know a way, Mitch, because you're savvy on this stuff, if you know a way to change the settings when I go live through BeLive to public, that would make it shareable. So that's not, yes, it's not on your end, it's my end. I think it somehow defaults to private when I go through BeLive. And that's happened to me several times now. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to change that setting. So thank you. No, thank you for bringing that to my attention. The other thing that I do is that helps me with testing is small little things. I believe in small little experiments. So you'll see me test jokes on my wall, and if a lot of people react, then I know I have something, right? And I'm testing jokes all the time. You go to my Twitter feed, I'm testing small jokes all the time. And I know whether a joke works pretty quickly because I don't say, hey, everybody, I want to test a joke. Because then you're like, man, make me laugh, giggle, say something funny. And that's not how humor works. Humor's visceral. It either made you laugh or it didn't. Humor is visceral. And if you didn't laugh, then I know that I need to rewrite the joke. So you'll see me do these small experiments all over Twitter, all over Facebook. And then if something works, I actually create a blog post. I create an image and put it on Instagram. I will put it all over the place. And I will double down on that, put it on my blog. So I'm doing these quick little content experiments. And they're so quick and they're all the time that no one failure is going to matter. No one's going to know. I'll be on to the next joke the next day. I'll be on to something else the next day. So think about the ways that you can reduce the sort of maybe a little bit of the anxiety by trying little experiments. And then if they work, scale them. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing kind of proposition. Creativity can be these small little experiments. And if something worked with some friends, then double down on that. Double down your creative energies on that thing because that will have worked. And that's another way to sort of just reduce sort of all those different things. But understand, you know, it's kind of normal anytime you do something creative you're going to have these jitters. You don't know. When I wrote my book, I wasn't sure. And the feedback I've gotten from the book has been overwhelming. Thank you, everybody. And people seem to really love it. So don't let your own sort of censor in your head tell you that you shouldn't be doing it. So the other thing is I like to label my censor. We all have that inner critic. It's very normal. And there's a whole book called Taming the Inner Critic, Taming That Internal Monster. And it's a great book. It's an oldie but goodie. And one of the ways that I sort of do it is with humor. I have a name that I call my inner critic. And so I know when it rears its ugly head that a lot of it is just false messages. So whatever works for you, just be playful about it. Small little experiments. See if you can separate out the outcome from the process and learn how to really appreciate the process. Don't worry about the outcome for now. Don't worry about it. You know, when we sit down and we write, sometimes we're writing and editing at the same time. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just write. Worry about the editing after. If you're doing video and it's not live, it's produced video, well, just get the video out and then edit after the fact. That's what post-production's for. So try to separate the outcome and that process a little bit, and I think it'll help. But just also understand that it's normal, and don't listen to everything that your internal critic says, because there's a lot of false messages. Don't always rely on your friends. Yes, I know I love my friends too, but my friends will always go, oh, that's pretty great. And so it's like, no, it's not. If it didn't make you laugh right away, then I didn't do my job. So don't be deterred. Keep at it. And creativity is a muscle like anything else. It really is a muscle. And the more you use it, the more you'll work it. So set aside time for creativity. Does it sound crazy? A little bit. But set aside time for writing, or for doing something on video, or for testing something. Set aside time every week. Allow for the planned creativity and the spontaneous creativity. I know it sounds kind of like oxymoronic, planned creativity, but you have to book time with yourself in your calendar to make it a regular habit. And I promise you, if you do this enough times, it's like stand-up comedy, it's like anything else. You know, after 20 years of doing stage work, yeah, it's second nature to me now. But that's the creative process. So don't be deterred. Don't be deterred. Maybe one day I'll even, maybe I'll take pictures of all the paintings I have hanging up in my house, and I'll just show you some of the paintings, which my friend J.S. Gilbert has seen, and I've showed, because he's an artist as well. So that's my sort of tip, because I'm having all these conversations with people, and I think when we talk about live video, people have fear and anxiety about showing up and it not being perfect. So don't worry about it. That's the place you'd want to be imperfect and just be human. Don't fear the creative suck, steer into it. Steer into the creative suck, embrace the creative suck, high five it. But don't let it deter you from doing the really important creative work that you have to do in the world. So that's just my tip. And whatever works for you, you know, whatever gets you excited about the process, do it. And don't edit while you are writing. That's your inner critic trying to correct everything and get everything perfect. Just go write. If you're going to write, go write. Don't judge yourself. You know, you can always do the editing later. And the secret sauce is in the editing. But don't worry about that now. Just go write. High five the creative suck, Laura. High five it. High five it. Make friends with it, because everybody feels that way. And we wouldn't have half the wonderful art in the world if people got so hung up on the creative suck that they didn't finish things. And that's why a lot of us never finish things we start. We give into the creative suck. Make friends with the creative suck. High five the creative suck. Spoon it at night. Spoon it at night, that creative suck. You know, gently touch its hair. You know, tell the creative suck, shh. Shh, I know. No, it's good. It's all good. I love you. Make friends with it. Whatever you got to do. High five it. Embrace it. Buy it a gift. Whatever. Romance it. Normal. And when it gets easier, the more that you can kind of just deal with that, the easier it's going to be for you. I promise you. So let me know how you deal with creative suck, everybody. I want to hear from you. Those are just some tips that work for me as a writer and an improviser, and in my world. But how do you deal with creative suck? I want to know. Go ahead and share your tip. And I thank you. And Mitch, thank you for letting me know about the setting. That's on my bad. That's on my end. I'm gonna have to look at that, because I think it's a default that automatically goes to a private setting. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out. All right, everybody, embrace your creative suck. Namaste. Have a great day. Make it a good one. Take care. Bye.